Hello, my dear Ielts aspirants, and welcome to Learn English with Tamanna. If you have recently started preparing for your IELTS, then this video is specially for you. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most confusing parts of IELTS reading module, which is true, false, and not given, where many IELTS candidates get stuck. So, I'm going to show you how you can simply solve this question as a beginner without thinking much. Okay, so without wasting any further, let's get going. Now, I'm going to take some important keywords from this questions. There are total 5 questions that we are going to cover. Let me introduce this passage first. It's from Cambridge Practice Test 12, Reading Test 1, and the passage name is correct. And so that's it. Okay, so as I have some issues in my mouse, so I'm going to highlight all the keywords first, then I'm going to start this session. Okay, so I'm going to cut this time so that the video gets shorter. Okay, now in our first question, they are claiming the cork oak has the thickest bark of any living tree. That means they are trying to make a comparison like this. I'm going to write this, that cork oak's bark is greater than any living tree. So this is we are going to find for this question number 1. The cork oak has the thickest bark of any living tree, or in simple words, cork oak's bark is greater than any living tree. Okay, so I'm trying to make this question simple so that you can understand. We are going to find whether this comparison had happened or not. Okay, now let's focus on the first line of the first para, thick bark. They wrote, cork, the thick bark of the cork oak tree is a remarkable material. Okay. They mentioned the word thick, but they haven't mentioned the word thickest. Thickest means it's in the superlative form. When we are trying to make any sort of comparison, we simply use the comparative or superlative form. But in this first line, they just simply wrote this line in positive form. They simply mentioned the word thick, not thicker, not thickest. So it is quite visible that they have not made any sort of comparison between the cork and any other living trees. It's very simple to understand. As the information is not given here, like they haven't mentioned anything regarding this comparison, hence we are going to select the answer not given. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, now we will be moving to the next question. Now, question number 2. Scientists have developed a synthetic cork with the same cellular structure as natural cork. I'm going to shorten this question so that it would be easier for you to remember the main context of this line. Okay, so in simple words, they are trying to say that scientists have created, I'm not writing the word scientist, just trying to make it short so that our main context would be easier to remember. Okay, created an artificial cork, same as natural cork. Okay, done. Okay, so this is what they are trying to say in this question. Here I have focused on the word cellular structure, okay, which I found in the second para. Now you may have a question that if I found the similar word or similar keyword in different paras, like in the next fourth or fifth para, what should I do? Then it's very simple. Go sequentially and match the question to each line. For example, I'm going to read this first line. If it matches with my question, then I found my answer, or I have located my answer. If I can see, or if I can understand that this particular line is not matching to my question, it's totally a different context or a different meaning, then I have to move sequentially where I will get similar keyword like this and have to match the line to the question again. That's what you need to do. That's why it may take some time, and for which you need to improve your reading skills. Now let's read the whole line. Developed most probably as a defense against forest fires, the bark of the cork oak has a particular cellular structure with about 40 million cells per cubic centimeter. So it is visible that they have mentioned the length of each bark of the cork oak, and they have also mentioned in the last part of the line that technology has never succeeded in replicating. Replicate is a synonym of synthetic or artificial. That means they have never succeeded, which means scientists have not developed a synthetic cork, right? So the answer would be false. I hope this is clear to you now. Okay, moving to the next question. Okay, so that's how you can simply understand true, false, or not given questions. First, you need to shorten your question. You need to mm, remember the meaning of the question, what they are asking, or what they are trying to claim. Then try to match the meaning or the context with the passage. That's it. If it matches, then true. If it is contradict of both, then false, and if it is not given, then not given would be the answer. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, moving to the third question. Individual cork oak trees must be left for 25 years between the first and second harvest. Means they are trying to say between the first and second harvest there will be a time of 25 years for which the cork oak trees will be left. Okay, it's easy to find the numbers as we can see here in this para. I have marked here. Okay, now I'm going to read the whole sentence. From the planting of a cork sapling to the first harvest takes 25 years, and a gap of approximately a decade must separate harvest from an individual tree. And for top quality cork, it's necessary to wait for a further 15 to 20 years. Now, it is quite clear that from planting of a cork and making the first harvest takes 25 years. And the time period that they are asking, the gap between the first and second harvest, they are saying that a gap of approximately a decade must separate harvest from an individual tree. That means the gap between the first and second harvest is approximately a decade. Decade means 10 years or nearly 10 years, because they have mentioned approximately. So it would be like near 10 years. And they are saying that individual cork oak trees must be left for 25 years between the first and second harvest. So here this time period is not the gap that they have mentioned in the question. It would be 10 years, as this information is contradict of the information that has been given into the passage. Hence the answer would be false. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, moving to the fourth one. Cork bark should be stripped in dry atmospheric conditions. Now let's focus on the word stripped, which I can see here. Now what they are trying to say, let's read out. If the bark is stripped on a day when it's too cold or when the air is damp, the tree will be damaged. Okay, if I read the previous line as well, it would be more clear to me. You even have to wait for the right kind of summer days to harvest cork. See, summer day is referring to dry atmospheric condition, and in this line they are saying that if you stripped on a day when it's too cold or a bit foggy, the tree will be damaged. So it is quite clear that the answer would be true, because it must be stripped in dry atmospheric conditions. Okay, now moving to the last one. The only way to remove the bark from the cork oak trees is by hand. Okay, so before I solve this one, let me tell you, stripping means remove or removing. Okay, stripping is the synonym of the word remove, so we can easily find it here. No mechanical means of stripping cork bark has been invented, so the job is done by teams of highly skilled workers. That means uh, the only way to remove the bark from cork oak trees is by hand, because as they mentioned that no mechanical means has been invented and it is done by highly skilled workers. So definitely the highly skilled workers will use their hands, so the answer would be true. I hope this is clear to you, and I tried my best to help you to understand the true, false, and not given question in the most simplest way. So, if you like the video, if you find it useful, hit the like button. Don't forget to comment to motivate me, and also if you love it, then give a share. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a great day and take care.